All right, we need to have a very serious talk about Rarity 5 today. Alright, so make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So I wanted to talk about the reality that we're going to be facing with Rarity 5 here. And you need to factor in a couple of other things here as you're looking at this set. We should have Rarity 5. We're probably going to have a battle set, and we're going to have probably a special August set somewhere along the way, or a September set to port in these overframes. Now, that's a lot of reprints to span over the next couple of months. And this is where, you know, somebody's going to be unhappy with something somewhere along the way, because there's going to be one set or all spread across the set. It's not going to be as good as just having one reprint set. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to be spread across multiple possible sets here that, you know, we got to kind of factor in. There's also the tins to talk about. So that's 4 reprint sets that we have to kind of look at right now and actually give some consideration to. Even if, like, the battle set doesn't happen right away, we could step away from that. The cards that need reprinted right now: Dark Magician Girl, The Magician's Apprentice. Yummy cards technically need a reprint, as much as, like, you might not like me saying that, you know, woohoo, $50 marshmallows are just the hottest thing since sliced bread. No, these cards, they need to be more affordable and more widely available so that players can actually get their hands on this stuff. Now, previously, you know, dumping in the mulch armies into these places has been good, but the discussion for Rarity 5 is, you know, are we going to see another double dip on these cards? Because at this point, you know, people want starlights for these. The argument right now is how much of a pedestal can we put Rarity 5 on? You know, what kind, like, what's Rarity 5's draw here? Is it the alt arts that are coming in from the stamp collection, or is it supposed to be something else? Konami is very notorious, and I will say this for those of you in the back of the room: if they put the selling points up front for you, they know why you're buying the product. And I don't think Rarity 5 is going to be as strong in the reprint sector of Desire cards than you're going to expect. Now, when I say this, yes, we still are going to have the stamp collection. You're still going to have Ash and Nibiru. All the staples are going to be reprinted. But when it comes to cards that you want more desirable metagame shifts from, you know, they're not going to reprint Crown just yet, you know. Marshmallow is a little bit iffy. Dark Magician Girl, Shining Sarcophagus, the Dark Magician, you know, the Magician of Black Chaos Max, the guy that locks, you know. There are cards that need to see some physical reprints right now to actually do well. Another one is going to be the Sky Striker A0. You're probably not going to see a reprint for that until the tins. You know, that card's a $4 common now, and it just came out of the legendary decks. You know how crazy that argument is to have right now? Understandably, looking at the way that this set is, you know, constructed, you know, people have hopes of, like, you know, 7 Tachyon gonna find its way in here. You know, I hate to tell you this, but, like, Bonfire didn't really find a reprint until much later in its life. I don't think 7 Tachyon, or at least, you know, cards like that, are going to find their way into this set, because Konami would have probably advertised it. Which comes down to the question, you know, what about cards like Chaos Contrast Hero? You know, probably not going to see a Starlight for that until, you know, whatever set the overframes come in. You know, I'm frustrated, because I think the reality of Rarity 5 is going to be marketed in the stamped art cards. I think that's the entire set. Now, fundamentally, if you want my honest opinion here, you know, whatever's going to happen with the stamped cards in this set, you know, a year or two down the line, realistically, I mean, Konami's probably not going to reprint those stamped cards. I have a feeling they're just going to kind of toss them into the set, wash their hands with them, and they're done. This is a luxury style product. You guys got to remember that, you know. while these cards are meant to be reprints, you know, they're what Konami deems as a luxurious item. You know, they're supposed to be in the set to entice you, to get excited, to get you interested, and to get you to want to go pick up the product. And if that's what Rarity 5 is, so be it. All right, I just want to see the Dark Magician Girl, the Shining Sarcophagus be in here so people can afford to play this. Cost of meta is getting a little bit out of hand. You know, we've seen Incredible Ecclesia break $50, $60. You know, that was crazy. We have, you know, D-Mod, Dark Magician of Chaos, which is very expensive right now. Marshmallows are exceeding these crazy numbers. And this is why we talk about, like, the displacement effect. While Sky Striker has gotten incredibly cheaper, look at how the price of, like, mid-tier Sky Striker cards have gone up. Look at the price of high-rarity Sky Striker cards. You know, it's one thing has to give into another for things to shift around. And, you know, we're heading right back into another sector where the game's about to get way more expensive and people are about to be, you know, priced out of the game again, which is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, I've already had a couple friends complaining. They're like, wow, you know, I had to go get Incredible Ecclesias to play the game right now. And it's just that they're already priced. I mean, $30 for a legendary deck. Have to go get 3 Fallen of Albaz decks to get Fallen of Virtuouses. And then you have to go get DLC to get the Ecclesia on top of it. Like, 30 plus 15s. I mean, that's 45, 70 plus an Incredible. I mean, you're at 105. It doesn't even include having to go get extra zeros to play the deck a little bit more optimized. So, I don't know. To answer the other question I've been asked is, Robbie, where do you think, like, the stamped cards are going to go in value? You know, like, what do you think the secondary market is going to do with these? My question becomes, how easy are these to pull? You have to remember, unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with a Rarity style set. There's no such thing as, you know, equal distribution in these sets. Konami can do whatever they want to side sets. Judging by, like, staples like Ash Blossom Nibiru, this is a luxury item. I do think there will be some price points associated to some of these cards. Not every one of these cards is going to be 25 cents. That's just not going to be the reality of the situation. It's going to come down to what rarity spread is available and how hard it is for players to get their hands on, you know, like the higher rarities. But once again, you know, this kind of leads back to the same argument that I read from a lot of people. It's like, you know, you don't have to have max rarity in order to make your deck good or to make it look good. But unfortunately, as we have seen time and time again with the way that this market reacts, you know, those shiny cardboard cards are going to be worth some exponential value. I also do think that this set, one downside to this set is a lot of people pre-ordered this set thinking that this is where, we're going to see, like, the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician ported into for the overframes. That was never advertised. And to the people that were, like, grasping at straws, hoping for this to happen, I know a lot of people are about to be very upset when that reality kicks in. And these are people that don't watch my video. I can say it as much as I want, but, like, people are not hearing this. So I don't know what to tell people. Long term, though, I do think a year, 2 years down the line, singles from this set are going to do some wonky, stupid things. Because people are going to be like, it's like the Platinum Rares, you know? Like, the Platinum Rares are incredibly stupid from the Noble Knight collection, but they have a niche audience that people wanted them for. You know, that's exactly what the stamp collection stuff is. It's a niche sector, and as the revolving door of players come and go, you know, you're going to see some of these things actually removed from the pool of collectability. It's going to happen. And, you know, people are going to look at some of these staples and be like, I want the really corny version of this card. You know, it's stupid. I'm not going to be the first one to tell you that. But that's just what it is. But I think the reality of this set is a lot of people are going to be upset when reality comes a knocking. You know, as of filming this, I mean, today we don't have any announcement for the overframe stuff for, you know, the big headliners. That could very easily change, but we just got to be very patient with this sort of stuff. So we'll see where this goes. So, as per usual, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about Rarity 5, but we'll see where things go. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.